Hello girls, it's story time, and today's story is called Farmer Giles's Goats. It was written by Rita Ainsworth. It goes something like this. Once there was a farmer who had many animals. He had pigs, sheep, cows, rooster, cat, even a little mouse lived on his farm. He had ducks with their ducklings, his dog, hens, turkeys, horses. His scarecrow kept the birds away from his grain. But, and I'm sorry to tell you this, he had goats also, and they were so naughty. Now, Farmer Giles could not leave his goats because they would just go and eat whatever they could see. So Farmer Giles tethered them with a rope to some posts. There's the rope and there's the post. And he said, I have to tether these goats here because otherwise they run into my fields and they eat everything. Now Farmer Giles had a special turnip field and his turnips were doing so well. It was nearly time to harvest them. Those goats, they nibbled through their tethers, they nibbled through those ropes, and they ran into Farmer Giles' prize turnip field. Oh no! Farmer Giles heard a commotion and he came out and he said, oh my goodness, those naughty goats are in my turnip field, but I'm so busy at the moment looking after my animals, I can't go and chase them out right now. So he called a little boy and he said, little boy, please go into the field and drive those naughty goats out. They are eating my turnips. Please go, shoo them away. Get them to go out of my field. So the little boy went into the field and he tried his best. He chased them this way. Shoo, 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 you naughty goats. But those naughty goats just ran in the opposite direction. So then he chased them that way. Shoo, shoo, shoo. But the naughty goats just ran in another direction. He tried again. Naughty goats, shoo, you must go out of Farmer Giles's field. You must not eat his prized turnips. But the goats just ran away from him. At last he was out of breath. He was panting. Oh my goodness, these goats won't listen to me, he said. And he sat down and he started crying. Oh, the goats won't listen to me. I can't get them out of Farmer Giles's field. Well, nearby at the stables, the horses were busy looking after their foal. And the horse said, oh, nay, what's that sound? Oh, dearie me, it sounds like a little boy crying. Oh, I'd better go and see if I can help him. So they left the foal safely at the stable, and the one horse went clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clop all the way to the field. And he said to the little boy, nay, what is the matter, little boy? Oh, the goats are in Farmer Giles's field, and I've tried to shoo them out, but I can't. Nay, said the horse, don't worry. I will go and chase them out. So the horse went into the field, and you know horses can run quite fast. But those naughty goats were too clever for the horse, because when he chased them and said, nay, nay, out of the field, the goats just ran in the opposite direction. just as they had done when the little boy chased them. So the horse chased them in the opposite direction. Hey, out you go! But those goats wouldn't go out. At last, the horse was so exhausted, even though he could run and run and run, and he went and sat down next to the little boy, and you'll never believe it, he started crying. No, I could not chase those naughty goats out of the field. So now the little boy and the stallion, that's the daddy horse, and the stallion, they both sat there crying. Hey, hey. In a nearby field, the cows were with their calf. "Moo, what is that we hear?" they said. "It sounds like someone crying." So the one cow said, "I will go and see if I can help. I will go and see what is wrong." So off she went. And then she came to where the little boy and the horse were crying. And she said, "Moo, good day to you. What is the matter?" So they said, "Oh, those naughty goats are eating the prize turnip, and we tried to chase them out of the field, but they just wouldn't go." "Oh," said the cow, "I will chase them out of the field for you. Don't you worry." So the cow went into the field, and she ran this way, and she ran that way, and she tried to get the naughty goats out of the field. But you guessed it, they just ran in the opposite direction. It didn't matter which way the cow went, the goats went in the opposite direction. At last, she was also exhausted, and she said, "Moo, I don't know what to do. These naughty goats, they just run away from you." And she went back to where the little boy and the horse were and sat down and started crying. My goodness. Well, nearby, the sheep were in the field. "Bah, bah, that sounds like someone crying," they said. And the one sheep said, "Me, I will go and find out what the trouble is." So one of the sheep went off and came to the place where the little boy and the horse and the cow were sitting and crying. "Meh, what's the matter?" said the sheep. "Well, the goats are in the field and we've tried to chase them out, but we can't. They won't go." "Meh, I will go," said the sheep. So the sheep went off and also tried to chase those goats out of the field. But just the same, when the sheep ran this way, they ran that way. When the sheep ran that way, they ran this way. So the sheep also couldn't chase them out, and went and sat down with the little boy and the horse and the cow and said, "I can't chase them out either." And they all sat there crying and crying until they heard a little sound. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. "What is the matter, everybody?" Bzzz. And a little bee came buzzing up. "Can I help you?" No, you're too little. We have been trying to chase the goats out of the field, but they won't go." "I will chase them out," said the little bee. Bzzz. "Oh, you can't. If we can't, you can't." Bzzz. "I will," said the little bee. So the little bee went flying into the field where the goats were and said, "Goats, you must go out of the farmer's field. You are not allowed to eat the turnips." Bzzz. "Why should we listen to you?" asked the goats. "Because if you don't, I'll sting you," she threatened. "Oh," said the goats. They were frightened that the bee would sting them, and so they ran out of the field with the little bee chasing after them. And then Farmer Giles came and he tethered those naughty goats again. And he said, "Naughty goats, don't go into my field and eat the turnips." But he never knew that it was the little bee that had chased them out. Isn't that a funny ending? Goodbye for now. Goodbye.